Audio input capture. Scott Channel, guys. Quick update. So this is a video response to what Carolyn Dow told me about how they're not even gonna open the Foundry because everyone already booked their plane tickets and all their hotels and all the after parties and all the strippers and all the the strippers are not even going to be in the Foundry. And what are we going to do about it? Like, so here's the answer, right? guys, here's a little secret. You can run your own battery, a 12-volt you can run your own 12-volt battery. You can hook up two 12-volt batteries and get 36 amp hours in parallel. But once you do that, and you give it a base that has rubber wheels, you get rubber wheels from the from the hardware store. You can get a rubber base that's built for people that do hard woodworking, like saws and stuff. So get that base. There's one called Rockler that I really like. It has really nice wheels that have locking wheels. And really heavy duty wheels that can go over bumps in the street. So get one of these bases, get a small desk from Staples and mount the desk on top of the mobile base, and then get a pure sine wave inverter. You can get one for $150 on Amazon. Hook it up to the battery series, and then plug any number of whatchamacallits, power strips. Plug power strips into the inverter, and then you got mobile power. You can bring that to people in the street. So, people on the street need power too. The city locks that down. I looked through all of the documentation involved in putting a mobile rig together on the street for homeless people, and unfortunately the city of Santa Cruz outlaws use of outlets in the public places. They don't let random people use outlets. The only people that can use the outlets in the street are people who are friends with Santa Cruz fat cats, unfortunately. So what I did is that I read on the website, Santa Cruz website, it says like, the rules for street performing are: you must be certain distances away from everyone, you must not use any AC power, it all has to be DC power. So they have a bias against Tesla. Tesla invented AC power. Okay, guys? Is that a conspiracy or what? Tesla invented AC power, and Santa Cruz doesn't let you use Tesla's power? Oh, shots fired! Tiger shot. Okay. So, amongst other things, there's all these offenses. It would take me days to go all over all the offenses that the Santa Cruz government has imposed on its supposed to be free people that were here from the Indians. We kicked the Indians out. We were like, fuck you guys, fuck you Indians, we're gonna kick you off your land. I have pictures of family. I'm descended from family that lived in this old adobe house. That's the oldest house in California. I have ancestors that are from Texas, and you can look up on Ancestry.com and you can see where the migration was of the Rodriguez family. Sorry guys. Dude, the shit goes on. What am I supposed to be talking about? God damn it. Anyway, I have autism. Oh yeah, You can bring power to people on the streets. No, why doesn't anyone do that? Why isn't... It's legal. I looked it up. You can hook up batteries, and as long as it's battery powered, they don't care. And of course, they don't give any information out on how to do this. The city doesn't care. They don't give any information out on how to help homeless people. Right? Here it is. Step 1. 2 12-volt batteries on Amazon. $25. You get the ones that are for security purposes. Security purposes for like security cameras, right? Security installations. They also power vending machines and such. And they only cost, you know, $15, $25. Sometimes the shipping's a little much because they're heavy, but you get one of those. You can get 2 if you want. If you want to upgrade. And you can hook them up in parallel to get more capacity. That's the other thing that the companies don't want you to know. Capacity is so cheap. All you have to do is buy another one and hook it up in parallel. It's fucking... You get the inverters from the companies. Like if you search for inverters on Amazon, they're all covered up. Like all the insides are covered up. You can't service them. Like they don't want you to be able to service your own batteries. They don't want you to see the batteries inside. They don't want you to know that you can just buy another battery and hook it up. Like you could take off the shell that's around it. Like if you've ever been a mechanic, you know that every vehicle and every piece of electronics has a shell. I learned this when I was 3 years old. I took apart a VCR. It has a shell in it. You take the shell off, and there's the mechanics inside. This is where cyberpunk happens. In decks. There's decks inside this laptop. There's decks inside all of the office buildings everywhere. Dude, this is... Cyberpunk is happening. I have... on my keychain... Look at this. Look at this. This thing is shockproof, waterproof. It's got steel on it. It's 32 gigabytes. It is encrypted. It's got everything I have on it. Yeah. It's got everything I have on it. And these are so cheap. You just get it on Amazon. It's like $15. Like, why doesn't anyone do that? So anyway, you get one of these things, and this can hold your life on it. Like you can have all your passwords, you can get free password management programs, you can get encryption programs, you can have all the Tor connections, you can have scripts, you can have an operating system on here, you can have parallels running Windows if you want. If you're a Windows person, you can run Mac, you can run Windows, you can run PC, and if you don't have any of those, the system's down, right? And you can have a console that loads up. You can have Node.js installed on it. And you can run websites off of this. You can have a server on this. Apple doesn't want you to know that you can just run a server off one of these for $15. Anyway, I digress. We're talking about homeless people and how to get power to them. So, if you buy these batteries, step 1 is batteries. Step 2 is inverter. Get a solar power inverter. It's $150 to $250 on Amazon. Depending on how fancy you want to get, you can get peak power 2,000 watts. Okay, 2,000 watts is pretty nice. That's pretty sweet power. 2,000 watt. Okay, so say you're running, since it's 12-volt system, most people are used to running AC power, right, out of their home. So they're familiar with the types of wattage that are used in AC systems, but in DC systems you're normally using very low voltages, such as 6 volts or 12 volts, depending on the cell size and the cell type. So if the cell type is lead, you're working with the 12-volt battery. Get the ones that are no maintenance. You don't want to be maintaining this. They make ones that are AGM. They're sealed. You'll never spill them. You'll never, if your rig blows up, like the battery will still be there and it'll still be powerful. So get that, and then where was I? Batteries, inverter. Get the pure sine wave inverter, because that's what you need for electronics, guys. Pure sine wave inverter, and then hook the inverter directly up to 2 power strips. You can get surge protectors if you want, but the solar system already has surge protectors built in. It has a fuse built in, so you don't have to worry really. And you can get extra fuses if you feel like you could blow a fuse in the wild. So the power strips is the third thing, and then from there you got the core, the electrical core. Okay, we're using Edison's DC power combined with Tesla's power. This is a combined system. This is like, you know, like Tesla never really liked Edison and vice versa, because they were paranoid, right? They were all trying to come up with the same shit at the same time, trying to take credit for all this shit and get funding, because somebody burned Tesla's building down, for God's sakes. Go watch the one with David Bowie, not the Fountain. The Fountain's great too. Watch that one, but watch what is it? The Prestige. If you get anything out of this video right now, go watch The Prestige. Like, watch it and then watch it a second time and see what you see that you didn't see the first time. That is, ladies and gentlemen, what I just said is a good use of 4 hours. Do not go to the IMAX. Spend 4 hours watching a movie back to back called The Prestige. Alright, PSA. Okay, so we got the electrical core, right? You go on Amazon also. You get a frame. The frame is square. It's got steel. It's welded together. You take one that's for kids because it's short, and then you disassemble it. Take off the drawer, the kid drawer. Take off any useless shit like for drawers, and then you got a steel base. You don't have to weld it. It's like 30 or 40 bucks on Amazon. So stick the base on a Rockler. I think it's a Rockler mobile hardware base. You can go to rockler.com or whatever. Get the mobile hardware base. That'll go over bumps in the street, so you can take it to people on the street. Okay? So you got the electrical core, you got the steel frame and a desk on top, and you got a Rockler mobile base, which is a fucking kick-ass base, and that base is only like $100 bucks. Just think of how you can set this up for less than $1,000 and get mobile power to people on the street, and the power lasts like an entire day. And then you just plug it in, you just recharge it. It's nothing. We're using Tesla now, and then we just plug it in. Actually, if you want, you can just plug it into the city system and then charge it on there. But they don't want you to do that, obviously. Because Tesla was talking about free power for everyone. That was his dream. Didn't happen, you know. Didn't happen. Anyway. But if you go back and you listen, if you go read Tesla, he says that in the future, 100 years in the future, everyone's going to have small devices that you can communicate with everyone, and they're really cheap, and like they're really cheap. Everyone has them, and everyone can communicate with anyone in the world instantly, and no one has to go anywhere because they just pick up this little thing and they can see pictures on it, they can see sound on it, they can talk to anyone on the phone, they can you know, chat with their buddies, they can have sex, they can see sex, they can admit everything, they could hide everything if they want, they could make or break relationships, they could go to Match.com or OkCupid or God knows how many of those sites I've been on. Facebook and Twitter, and all those things are worthless, because what Tesla said was that in the future we're going to have these things. Go read Tesla. Go read him. They burned down his whole shit. He had to like bail out because he lost his funding, and he predicted this. Go read Jules Verne talk about the moon landing in the 1800s, for God's sake. Go read the Mesopotamian tablets. Go read, you know, look at archaeology. Look at what they just discovered, that there were humans going on millions of years ago. They just discovered that. How many planets are there out there? How many planets are fucking out there? And we just landed a probe on a comet, which is an amazing task, but there's nothing on there. It's just dust. How many of those planets are we going to have in the future and not be able to see what happens on those planets when we die? We're never even going to know. We're never going to know when the robot war is, or when the next moon landing is. We don't even go to the moon anymore. We're like, so much for the moon. We're going to go to Mars instead. Go. God damn. I have pictures to prove all this stuff. I have pictures, database dumps. I have all the databases and all that. Anyway. Well, that's it for now. See you guys later.